Hey guys, welcome back to Me Watch Movie. I'm Mike.
I'm Jay.
And Game of Thrones is back!
We back, bitches!
It's the weirdest thing when you get back into a new season of Game of Thrones. There's so many different people and plot lines and names, and you forget who the fuck is what and what they're doing, and they all have such weird fucking names. So Daenerys and Jon Snow, they show up with their army, with the Unsullied. They show up with the dragons. They show up with everybody.
Everybody that's a good guy is at Winterfell at this point.
Yeah,
everybody. Like they've got Tyrion, they've got Daenerys, they've got Raisin Bran's there. Like everybody's there. The thing is, immediately the first thing I wanted to say though is like this episode should have been called "My Sister Hates My Girlfriend." Because that's what fucking happened. Like, and Sansa immediately fucking hates Daenerys. Like, it is stone cold mean shit. Like, she does that up and down shit like this. He's like, damn. He's like, why you being a bitch, Sansa?
Yeah, you know they're just gonna end up best friends.
Yeah, it's cool. And they were throwing a lot of shit at each other even when they were sitting there talking, and she was like, what does even a dragon eat? He's like, whatever it wants.
Yeah, that was a sick burn.
Woo!
That was a sick burn. I hated
that's my girlfriend
too. Because Jon Snow shows up and everybody's always pooping on all his plans. He's like the only one who gives a shit about the people. And everybody's like, why don't you just care about your fucking title, you piece of shit? And it was like it was like nothing but children. It was like kindergarten cop. It was like, I heard that boys have penises and girls have, I was like, sit the fuck down and shut up, you little shit. I'm the king, or I was.
Well, it's like that one girl, she's like, you left a king in the north, and you came back as, I don't even know what you, I'd be like, fucking awesome, I got 2 dragons, a hot-ass girlfriend, what you got? Nothing.
And Doritos.
And they'd be like, she'd be like, hey, look, I'm still king of the north, just low-key, you know, just shh. Like, when she's not around, I still be king. But yeah, it's like, yeah, you're right, everybody was taking a dump on anything he does. Like, anything Jon does, like, it's not good. It's like, bitch, I came back from the grave. I seen shit. I'm alright, guys. Trust me, I'm gonna get us through this, alright?
That's horseshit, man. And then everybody gets kind of cold reunions. Like the only good reunion that I felt like was nice was Jon Snow and Arya. And every time, I love it, anytime anybody sees Bran again for the first time, they're always like, hey, little brother! And he's like, I'm not what I once was.
Yeah, he's like, oh, shit. Yeah, he's like, what's up, man? I've not seen you since like last barbecue. He's like, barbecue was shit. He's like, okay, there's Miss Dowdy Panties right there.
It's like, I've seen some shit. No, literally, I've seen fucking everything. I know everything that's going on.
Negative Nancy over here.
But yeah, and then it was crazy, dude. Euron actually, he's like, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go fuck the queen, and then he does. He actually.
I like how he looked at the big fucking bodyguard too. He's like, I'm gonna go put my dick in there. Like when he stood up and he was like, I'm gonna go do it.
Do you like my erection? My erection selection?
Because Cersei's like, he's like, I got you everything you wanted. Like all I want to do is bang. Can we do that now? And she's like, I really wanted those elephants. I'll give you an elephant. And it's like, you know, but they do have sex, and that's the whole thing, and that's going from there. They are planning to attack Winterfell, which is gonna be fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that to get down. Only thing we didn't see in this episode was we didn't see any of the White Walkers.
Yeah.
Which I kind of wanted to see them.
Yeah, you saw their leaving behinds because they made a fucking like a little kid spin wheel out of that dude and all those arms and shit, and then it got caught on fire. That was gnarly, man.
It was cool.
There are a lot of stuff here reckons back to the very first episode of Game of Thrones when they're first there and Arya lets that kid walk by her, and then like the dead body parts colluded into a nice like it was like the crow at the end when he leaves his mark.
It was cool though.
A lot of stuff that was a lot like the first episode, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the thing about Euron, or Euron as we always call him, and the queen
looks like he smells like it too.
It's never a good thing when you're done having sex and the first thing the girl's doing is she's like, man, I forgot to do my laundry today. She's like, put her clothes back on. She's like, I really wanted those fucking elephants. He's like, was I as good as your dad?
She reminds me of that. She reminds me of Van Wilder when that one guy's having sex with her, and she's like, I mean, we're gonna be like the best party. He's like, would you shut the fuck up?
I'm trying to pleasure you, Gina. But yeah, that was awkward as fuck because the first thing he said, he was like, so am I as good as the Kingslayer?
Yeah, as good as your brother.
It's like, do you have to talk about me fucking my brother right now? Like, literally just happened? But then he's all grody about it. He's like, I'm gonna put a baby in there. It's like, damn, you're moving quick, you're in. Back at the boat where he has Yara tied up, fucking a dickless Wonder swings in like a dickless Zorro to save the day. And
let's get dangerous. That should have been when he walked in.
And so yeah, he saves her and he goes up to her and there's this awkward reunion where he's like, remember that time where I fingered you, my own sister, on a horse?
Yeah, gross.
I can't ever stop thinking about that when I see those.
You made out with your sister.
But yeah, he frees her, she headbutts him, and then he's like, they're going to find safety, and he's like, well, I'm gonna go fight for the North and do my thing.
I do like that. You know, she does understand like you're gonna go fight with the Starks. It's already, that's where your place has always been. So again, they're gonna have. Again, you're right. It's gonna be all the remaining and surviving members of the Stark fighting together, which I think is fucking cool, by the way. Also, there was a little brief moment with Tyrion. I mean, it's badass that Tyrion's like the consultant with Varys now for Jon Snow and Daenerys. I think that's fucking awesome. But Tyrion has a little moment with Sansa. He's like, I haven't seen you since the wedding. My wife runs off and what the fuck. Maybe Tyrion and Sansa get together. Wouldn't that'd be wild?
That would be fucking weird. I mean,
because it would unite the Lannisters and the Starks again, and this time for the gooder or for the better purpose.
I didn't get those vibes though from watching the way she kind of reacted to him cold. But then again, he had just showed up with the dragons and all. And they gotta just like walk to her house like there's some new fucking hombres in town.
Dude, he's just got that Lucky Charms in his back pocket. Like he's the most charming dude I've ever seen in my life.
I like that I was making fun of Varys for having no balls. He's like, is it cold? But no, that was cool. Like again, another cold reunion between those two. But Jon Snow and Daenerys have this weird fucking scene where it's like, it felt like Superman when he's giving her a ride in the air.
Dude, that was, I liked it.
Gender flip.
With the dragon ride. Yeah. It was alright, but I felt like they could have, they might as well just thrown that song, If It's Meant to Be, It'll Be.
I was thinking a whole new world.
It was kind of, it was there. He's like, well, I goes, I've never rode a dragon before, and I guess now I'll never ride a horse again.
I was kind of pissed because I was like, you're going to spend all this money on the CGI for these dragons, and y'all are just going to make like a rom-com love scene out of it. But they fly down in that little pit, and then the dragon's watching them make out like your dog does when you're trying to have sex. You're like, get out of here.
Stop licking my ass.
Yeah, so I finished, and then I stole the dog.
Really, the only thing that's tense in the episode, there's two particular scenes, I guess, but one's not really played out that much because it's at the end. But with Samwell Tarly and the reveal that, Daenerys killed his fucking family. And it was funny to watch his face because he's so nervous and like kind of like, and Sir Jorah's like, oh, this is the guy that saved me. And he's like, oh yeah, I can't wait to go home. And then she's like, I killed your family. And it was like, he's like, what the fuck? Then he's like, I gotta go, fuck it. He's like, I'm not crying, you're crying. And he runs off to tell fucking John. He's like, John boy, he's like, your girlfriend killed my parent, or my dad.
He looked like Auburn fans after they thought they won but didn't realize that it was fouled on that 3.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it's against Virginia.
But it is cool though, because Sam does, after he's telling John about like, hey, she fucking killed my brother and my dad, basically it's over, like my whole family. He's like, you're really the Targaryen heir. Like, based on research, you're the one that should be the king, not her. Like, you're in line to be the next one.
Also, you've been fucking your own aunt. Nobody talks about that.
Okay, in the world where brothers and sisters fuck and all sorts of weird shit.
It's true. If you're ever gonna fuck your aunt, it's best to have it be Daenerys and have it be back in the Game of Thrones times.
You're really fucking your aunt. Yeah, well, she's 3 times removed.
Yeah. Not in 2019 Kentucky. That's not okay. But back then, not that big of a deal.
I mean, and she's hot.
Plus, she's the queen of dragons.
And she's hot, and she's got dragons.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to be open about that shit. But hey, it's Robin Hood times.
It's okay.
But that's crazy because now John's got to either go to her and be like, it's like going to your wife and be like, so I make more money than you now.
Yeah, well,
it's awkward.
It's like John can't get he's like, I just got back. I thought I did good. I got all this armies. I got all these dragons. I got a hot girlfriend. And I mean, now I got to deal with your shit. I got to deal with his shit. Can I just take a moment of peace and take a dump in silence?
Yeah.
Thanks. Where's the outhouse? Where's the magazine?
Those goddamn enchiladas.
Because it's like he can't even fucking like go take a piss without somebody set it all back in. You knew I wouldn't sign your autograph?
The worst part though, the part that I fucking hated, actually was a funny scene because you gotta have that gratuitous sex scenes in there. But when you see Bronn and he's having sex with like 3 hookers or whatever, and the most awkward way, he's just laying there, he's not even paying attention. He's talking to the others about like, did you read on CNN today about that one guy? And this girl's just like dry humping. She's not dry. This girl's on top of him just fucking.
He's got 2 others.
Yeah, he's like, did you guys catch that Tiger win yesterday? That was crazy, wasn't it?
Nicholson was on fire too.
And then fucking Peeping Tom walks around the corner, Qui-Gon Jinn, and he's like, hey, so the queen wants you to kill your 2 best friends. She wants you to kill Jaime, and she wants you to kill Tyrion, the only 2 people who you ever gave a fuck about. Maybe. And he looks like he considers it, which I don't think he'll fuck.
No, the thing is, at the end of this season, at the end of this whole series, that motherfucker better get a castle, a goddamn title, and he better be like, I don't care if he's on the Iron Throne. I'm okay with it. Bronn's awesome as fuck. Like, I love Bronn. He's always been one of my faves in the show. And yeah, it is kind of fucked up that him going and be like, hey, you got to kill these 2 guys that were really nice to you, and especially one that hired you and like is kind of your little brother that you never had. What do you think? He's like, how much money are we talking here? Because I mean, I'm considering it, but I'm getting these. I've got 6 titties around me. Get to it. Get to the point. But yeah, I don't know. He probably won't. But I mean, you never know. Like, this is Game of Thrones.
Yeah, so it could happen. I just want to revert back really quick because I can't really handle it in my brain. The way that Euron bang Cersei's. That was just fucking weird. She's like, well, the one thing I'll give you is that you're not boring. I was like, oh yeah, of course not. He was probably in there like throwing pudding in her face and shit while they were doing it, like making her smell his toes. And she liked it because she's a fucking crazy
It's like
person.
Ryan Reynolds in Waiting when she's like, you're just gonna flop around on top of me and act like I clown. He's like, yep.
I feel like that would be the leaked sex tape to end all the King Thrones.
She was gross anyway, kind of with her attitude, and she's hot, but she's gross. And then now she's just letting like an old pirate fucker, One-Eyed Willie, put his Willie in there and not even giving a shit just for like armies and stuff. I was like, God damn, girl, you need to get some self-help.
He looks like Rob Zombie fucked Rob Thomas.
He looks like the
Matchbox 20.
He looks like Rob Thomas's leftover vomit at a Rob Zombie concert. Yeah, it just I don't know, and you know he stinks. Like it just smells like pure ass and like pee and vomit and cat shit. Yeah. Like he just smells like all of that. And his wiener's probably like grody and got pimples and shit all over it.
Wrong kid died.
Oh, I'm gonna get myself sick.
So yeah, not a lot of shit actually happened in this episode, but it's usually, I think it's gonna be episode 2 that's just gonna fuck with people's faces. Yeah. People are gonna die. Batshit crazy shit's gonna happen. It's gonna fucking go off from there. So
you want to talk about the last awkward moment?
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that.
You got to shout about that time.
My goodness. I was wondering the whole time. I was like, fuck, it's been like 6 months. Jamie didn't die, did he? Because I'd be pissed if Jamie died. And Jamie, finally we see him get off the boat or whatever, or we see him come out and he's showing up to help out or do whatever he's gonna do. And
he fucking Batman's in too because he's like, I was like, yeah.
He looks over and fucking Bran's just
the first person.
Like, oh god!
It looked like little Professor Xavier seeing Magneto after a long time.
Sorry about that time me threw you out of the window.
Hey, you should have been spying on me.
How do you explain that to someone? Like, look, I knew when you were a small child, I threw you to your near death, and that you're in a wheelchair because of me. Not even like a nice wheelchair that you could ride around in Walmart with, but one made of sticks. But I've done a lot of nice shit since then, man. Seriously, like I haven't drank in like 6 months. It's like, how do you apologize for that?
I lost a hand.
12 step.
I like when it was always like when he pushed Bran out the window anyway, he was like, he should have been standing there. He's like, which one, this?
Poor Bran's like, Windy, I can't.
I remember that scene too, because he did it like this. He's like, well, sometimes you gotta do it. He goes, he's like, which one, this?
So yeah, that's this week's episode. Again, they're just setting everything up to do some badass shit in the following episodes. We'll be here every Monday with the recap for the last 5 episodes after this one. Hope you guys enjoyed this. And we'll have your fucking faces. If you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button. Get some goddamn wham up in you.
Throne of Games coming at your face like herpes.
And there wasn't a single dick
avoidance
in this week's episode.
I know, I was disappointed. I know you were.
Actually -1 dick.
Shit.
We watched a movie. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah. You know what? We did a review. We watched a movie. We watched a movie.